what we're going to do now is spend the next 15, 20 minutes where we can actually ask anything about the topics that we've covered over maximum occupancy over the last 2 days. So anything else, we've got 2 roving mics, we've got Sam and Fazana. So does anybody want to ask anything, a burning question, pressing question that they want to ask about, that we can then ask the audience or one of our team, or because there's a lot of experts here. We've got revenue managers, we've got marketers, we've got CEOs, we've got everything. Can anyone please ask a question, anything? Who wants to go first? We've got 15, 20 minutes to burn here. Anything? No? Yep, question here, please. Thank you.
I think I'm hoping for a quick win, but I'm not sure if it exists on this topic.
Please tell me who you are, where you're from.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I'm Luke. I run the State Hotel, a small boutique hotel in New Plymouth.
Yep.
We're having huge issues at the moment with fraudulent bookings, particularly through Booking.com. And we've tried to take a couple of steps to improve that, but just still it's affecting our productivity and cancellations and things like that. And I wondered if anyone else is having the same issues and what.
When you say fraudulent, what do you mean? People just not turning up?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is anyone else having the same issues? Okay. What are people doing it? Oliver, you're from Swiss Bowl. Do you want to sort of allude a little bit to it?
Yeah, basically, it has been quite a big problem, and as you said, it's been wasting a huge amount of management time, and we have been basically going to the most senior people at Booking.com saying this is not acceptable, and we haven't really made a lot of progress.
Yeah.
So even though we're putting pressure on, I think that's a problem that they're not quite sure how to solve just yet, but it's super frustrating, and I can imagine with smaller operations that, to put it frankly, it pisses a lot of people off and wastes a lot of time when they should be focusing on the guest.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that we, as an industry, we need to sort of be putting more pressure on. I mean, I know we all send our emails, the pre-stay, but a lot of people, maybe get confirmation, are they staying? I don't know. I really don't. That's an issue, but definitely I didn't realise that was happening. Not something I don't know how to solve as well. So do you have any other questions in the room at all? Anything else that's happening? Please, over here, Sam. Just over there, thanks. Thank you. Please stand up, say who you are, where you're from.
I'll sit down.
Okay, no problem.
It's Fraser. I'm from Princess Gate, Black Swan and Hannah Lodge in Rotorua. Previous life in Hotel Devonport in Tauranga. So just following on from the comment that you made, we used to get a lot of issues with Booking.com and Expedia bookings because we didn't require deposits. We had a 48-hour cancellation policy. So we'd get a lot of people with virtual, with the, not the credit card, the EFTPOS cards, Visa debit cards, and they don't have money on their bank account, so they don't care. So a lot of admin, but what we actually decided to do was we actually started to charge everyone's credit cards inside the 24 hours, or just outside the 24 hours. So then we sort of flushed out the no-hopers, and then we used the tools on Booking.com and Expedia to do the fraudulent or invalid credit card. If you do it inside your 48 hours or 24 hours, or whatever your cancellation policy is, the countdown rule is a lot quicker to be able to cancel the booking before arrival date. In fact, they only get about 3 hours or so, but you've got to be constantly alert to it. You can't sort of just wait. You've actually, their version of the guest having 24 hours to cancel or fix the situation, in reality is not 24 hours, it's about 28 or 30 hours. So you've just constantly got to keep manicuring it and constantly monitoring it to get rid of all the people that are just the no-hopers of the world that are wasting your rooms.
Yeah. Anyone from Expedia here? Left? No? They've gone. It's okay. Keep
but that's the...
Yeah.
But C-Trip is all prepaid, so you don't have any trouble.
Well, we do both as well. So,
yep, thank you.
So for those of you who don't know, I did work for Expedia as well. So, and at Trip we do offer both the prepaid and pay at hotel models. So I guess that's going to answer a question with a question. Do you have the prepaid situation turned on with Booking? So you can do that. It does come with it. another sort of challenge set of circumstances where they might turn on booking sponsored benefit, and that's a whole other set of questions, but that's something you can discuss with your account manager there. But yeah, it is an easier situation for us in the sense that most of our bookings are prepaid, but again, with Expedia, you're probably finding that the prepaid bookings, that's less of an issue. I would also recommend having a play with that policy, like you mentioned, Fraser. You can make sure that your terms and conditions do state that you will take a pre-auth at the very least, if not a prepayment, at least in that, or just sort of on that cancellation penalty window.
So there's actually one other level to that with the prepay. Booking.com has introduced a new feature which people might not necessarily be aware of, where they're now issuing a virtual card to allow the guest to do, like if you have a particular non-cancellation rule on a reservation, they'll give you a virtual card that's valid until such time as 4 or 3 days out from arrival, and then they guarantee the cancellation. So if the guest cancels, they basically shorten your cancellation policy. So if you've got a 7-day cancellation policy, they'll shorten it for the guest to 3 days. They'll give you a virtual card which will cover the gap period between your 7-day cancellation and the 3, and then they will modify the reservation and give you the real credit card for the booking for their version of the short prepaid. You've got to watch out, because again, the Visa debit losers of the world will not have the money in the bank account for you to be able to transact the deposit. So while Booking.com will guarantee those first 4 days, you still got to work fast and get the money off the guest when the reservation changed. So you've got to read the actual confirmation letter from Booking.com to make sure that if you've received one of those type of bookings, that you're onto the game at day 3 or day 4 or whatever it is that it kicks in.
Okay. Thank you, Fraser. Any other questions? Up the front here, Sam. Please tell us who you are and where you're from.
I'm Rebecca with Haka Lodges, so Premium Backpackers, and we had, a couple of months back now, and I wonder if Michelle from Google is still here, we had a big spate of spam reviews. So just 1-star reviews, no comments, and cross-checking against Guest Manifest. None of that nationality and no one that matched any of those names, and you try and dispute it and it bounces back and it exists on your Google profile.
Yep.
Just wondering if anyone's come across that, and how do you get around it, because the disputing didn't work.
Yep. Michelle's not here. She's on a plane back to Sydney, I think, right now. Quite easy. There's no way you can get rid of them. Obviously, you approach Google as well. But we've started working with clients who've got a lot of bad reviews, and we just ask them to go out to their past database and ask them to start doing positive reviews. Don't send out 5,000, because then Google will be aware of it. Do a drip feed campaign. Ask people to review it. Don't put an incentive in there, because Google may penalise you with that, but maybe throw something in. You know, to me, you know, when you get a bad review, the only way, people are not going to scroll to 30 pages of reviews as well. I know it does affect your Google little star ranking, but just go out to your past database, do maybe 20 a week or 20 a day or something, go out and say, hey, can you please review us? You stayed, you know, probably start from the people who stayed last, right, and then go backwards, because you're not going to go to someone who stayed a year ago to do a review. They're not going to say, well, I don't remember. It's not people going senile, but you know, it's a good idea. So just go back and that's the only way of getting rid of them. Google may or may not, TripAdvisor may or may not to do that. But just push them down, because people are not going to just start scrolling them. So, any other? Sorry, yes, Fazana, yes, because you've had to deal with them with our clients as well.
To add to that as well, I would say that make sure to respond back on that Google review, so that when consumers are looking at your reviews, they would actually, for me, I would answer for myself, I would always look at the answers by the hotel itself as well, whether they have taken any initiative to rectify this issue, or whether it might have been like, once off kind of. So if this is like a fraudulent kind of review, you can always say, we checked our database, we haven't been able to find, could you please give us a call? So it's showing that you are taking the initiative to address to that issue.
Yep. Any other question here? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Marg. I'm from Citchbuck Apartments in Crop.
From where, sorry?
Central Park Apartments in Cromwell at the Municipal Park. Same thing really as the Expedia and the Booking.coms. It seems to be guest. Obviously, our guests are amazing, but whenever there is a problem on our end, the communication is not there. I've asked for that. We've had people that have said, I can't see the gondola. We're in Cromwell. Queenstown's 45-minute drive away. They're not going to see the... So I've asked for it to be removed because of the, it affects it. And I've also have written a couple of responses to bad reviews, and so just give us a call direct next time and we'll make sure we'll give you an upgrade, we'll give you a nice... It doesn't even get... they don't even put it there. It comes back and it says it's been refused. It's not going to put it up there. How do we get around that? How do we get them to support us a little bit more?
Not sure about that one. Can the audience answer that? Yep, up here. Oh, you want to answer it next time?
Hi, Doug from Central Park Apartments in Cromwell. You never use the word direct when you're dealing with Booking.com or any of those because they just blink you out. So that's all.
Okay. Up the back, just there, just near the pole, was it? Yep, just in the middle. Yep, Sam.
If your content isn't as representative as it possibly can be, because those customers are not necessarily going to be speaking to a real person to verify what's happening on property.
Okay, thank you. And the question was here, just behind the pole. Sam, just keep walking. Left. Now, thanks.
I've found since I've had, I'm trying to think of the word now, an account manager with Booking.com, life is so much easier. And for the first time in three and a half years, I now know who I can contact at Expedia as an account manager. So do you have a Booking.com? Yeah, that was helpful for me. Sorry it wasn't for you.
Yeah, that's right. Any other questions, please? No? That was a good conversation, anyway. All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We're probably going to close Maximum Occupancy 2023. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for coming. I hope you've enjoyed the 2 days. As I said, it was a bit of a trial to combine both conference, and I think it's worked very well. The trade show downstairs was just amazing. We've had a lot of feedback where people could actually see up to 60 exhibitors that can assist their business as well. And what we've tried to do over the last 2 days is put some great content together. I'd like to thank my team, Fazana and Sam. I know this is Maximum Occupancy number 2, because 2 weeks earlier we did the same thing in Australia as well. So I probably need a break after this as well. But we look forward to seeing you in 2024. Thank you very much. Thanks for attending. And yes, good luck. We hope that the market recuperates to where it was and makes lots of money. Thank you very much. Thank you.